Hey there, it is Juju, and today is day 29 of my daily blog, and today we're going to talk about forgiveness. I've been thinking about doing this blog. This is going to be a very personal story about my own journey to forgiveness. Part of my daily reading that I do every morning is my habits is from Jack Kornfield, No Time Like the Present, and there's a whole thing about forgiveness here which I'm going to just read a couple of this and I'm going to share my story and journey. Forgiving ourselves and others is the ground for healing. Without it, our lives are chained and we're forced to repeat the suffering of the past without release. Without forgiveness, we perpetuate the illusion that hatred can heal our pain and the pain of others. Forgiveness requires courage and clarity. The practice of forgiveness takes time. It does not simply paper over what happened, nor does it ask you to suppress or ignore pain. Coming to forgiveness may include a lengthy process of grief, outrage, sadness, loss, and pain. It is a deep unfolding that honors the grief and hurt over and over in the heart. So, my mom died around 9 years ago, and she was very conscious in her wishes about, everything. She took care of everything. It was her choice. She was ready to go when she went, and she wanted her funeral. She planned her funeral. She planned the music. She wanted a full mass. I was raised Catholic. I'm not Catholic anymore. And she wanted all of the family to be there. She was very specific. I was with her day and night for the last 7 days while she was in the hospital. We talked about it a lot. My brother-in-law and nephews have different religious beliefs, even though they're Catholic. My mom's Catholic. She wants them to go to the Mass. And she says, she tried to lure them with, well, they can participate, they can bring up the gifts. And it was really her wish, And we talked about it a lot. And she said that, it probably isn't going to happen. I know that they've got different beliefs, but I really don't want it to tear the family apart. Well, they didn't come to the service. My sister did. My sister definitely held up her part of the bargain. She organized the whole funeral to my mom's wishes. But to me, it was just like so extremely disrespectful to my mother, to their grandmother, who was so generous and giving to them. They seemed much more concerned about money. This is my perspective at the time. More about money, about what they were going to get, rather than what they could give my mom, which was her final wishes. And I held on to this hurt and anger. Funerals are for the living, so it was a rejection of the family. I thought it showed deep disrespect for my mother, and didn't honor her last wishes. So I was so angry and hurt and wanting to understand. Sometimes if you understand someone's perspective, tell me about your religious beliefs. And, I may not agree with them, but I can at least understand and move forward and forgive. So I tried so many things to reach this level of forgiveness. I walked the Camino de Santiago, a 500-mile Catholic pilgrimage. I talked to Spanish priests, trying to understand. And I was in Soledad prison last week, and the topic was forgiveness. And when I realized, as we were, one of the questions was about forgiveness. And as I sat there, I realized that I have finally forgiven. It's taken me like 9 years. I still don't have the answers of, trying to understand. I'd still love to have that conversation to try and have a deeper understanding, but it doesn't matter. There's no more anger in my heart. I know my brother-in-law and my nephews loved my mom. I know my sister loves my mom. There's so many things about the choices that each of us have made. I'm a strong proponent of choice, and that means that, people have choices that they can make that are separate from what I believe is right. I get to choose what's right for me, not what's right for anyone else. And it was such a relief to realize that I have finally come to the point that this doesn't trigger me anymore. I accept it. What's happened has happened. It's taken a long time. And I have love, only love for my sister Lisa. If you do watch this video, I love you. I love the boys. Chucho. I wish everyone peace. And the thing that I think was most powerful is when I realized I was so offended by this idea of not honoring my mom's last wishes. But she told me clearly what she did not want to have was to have this tear the family apart if they didn't come. And it did. So I was the one that was not honoring her wishes as well. So I hope that my relationship with my sister continues to grow and grow close, and that someday I'd still love to have an understanding. But my view of religions, we'll save that for another day. So I just wanted to share my journey to forgiveness. And when you forgive for yourself. You're not forgiving someone else. This is for me and for my mom, actually. I'm honoring your wishes, Mom. I love you. So this is Julie, definitely unedited, unscripted, and unfiltered. And always lead with love. And try to find some forgiveness for yourself.